do you see all those who crossed over as being as clean as can be?
Definitely not, because as you would know, we were run by an administration for 16 years that didn't have any consequence for bad behavior. Everybody just behaved like they like because there was no consequence for it. So, in that administration, the sense of right and wrong was lost. It was oftentimes muddled. People didn't know what you were doing was even criminal again because everybody was doing it. But now that there's a new sheriff in town, people are now realizing, hey, what you were doing before, you can do it again. We have to change this behavior. So some of them, even if they had committed things in the past, are saying, hey, we don't want to do it any longer. And they're going to that side and remaining on the right side. For those who still want to continue as well, they're all going back. They're going back to where they came from.
Let's look at the issue of Senator Godswill Akpabio. That's a man who was in the PDP 2 terms and other positions that he held there. All of a sudden, he wakes up one morning, crosses over to the APC. He looks back and says the PDP is the worst thing that's ever happened to him and happened to Nigeria. What do you make of that?
Shouldn't you say that? Shouldn't you clap for the man and say this man is telling the truth?
Did he just realize that?
Well, he has now come to a realization that I was bad before, I don't want to be bad again.
But some people walked away also from the APC to the PDP and say, look, this is not what Nigeria should be having. So
yes, because they were not ready for transparent governance. There's no administration like APC that has been transparent. And you can see that even in the states before they got to the center, the states that APC controlled were known for progress. Albeit you could see marked improvement in the administrations. But here you are now faced with a situation where somebody says, well, I went there hoping to find largesse, I didn't get largesse, I can't remain here. Let's go back and let us scatter these parties, what they're trying to do. You would expect that from anybody who's used to making easy cash. But now they're saying it's no longer business as usual. And Akpabio has come and said, well, even if I was there before, you know the story of the man who was blind in the Bible for 40 years. And I was blind before, now I can see. There comes a time in your life when you come to realization that, look, enough is enough. So if he has come to that point, shouldn't you celebrate him?
Well, this is the Daily Report. We're talking about good governance in Nigeria. The focus, of course, is on the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration and his fight against corruption. Many people are bickering, belly aching about what it is that he's doing. But the man says, look, I'm committed to this fight. Even though people say I'm Baba, go slow as a snail, I will do what I can to see that we fight corruption. He has said it that if Nigeria does not kill corruption, corruption will definitely kill Nigeria. I want to take you to the issue of the Abacha loot. Before that money came, there had been so much talk about it. The government said one of the reasons why the Swiss government decided to return the loot was that it was going to be shared to the poorest of the poor. At some point again, the minister came up to say, look, we're not sharing the money. We're going to channel it to some other projects that will also benefit the people. Then we'll wake up one morning, the federal government, in collaboration with some sort of bank, is giving out trader money to Nigerians. Give us an idea. What do you think about this? So much is being said. Some marketers are jubilating, jumping all over the place. This is good for people who do petty business. It's wonderful. But some are still crying that, look, are we not the same poorest of the poor? Why is the money going to particular places?
I'm not sure what particular places you refer to as the money going to, but let's start from the Abacha loot. All the money you have mentioned are not being used for, all the projects or programs are not from the Abacha loot. Federal government is funding them from other sources as well. But if the Swiss government says, well, we know that this money was stolen, we are not going to give you back unless we can see that you are going to use it. That is a vote of confidence in this administration that at least they can get it back. 1, 2, the money is going to the poorest of the poor. There are many recipients, there are testimonies of those who have received it and how transparently it has been done. On the trader money, that is one that is most celebrated. Over 2 million Nigerians can testify that they have received the 10,000. I've heard the criticisms against it, and I understand where the criticisms are coming from.
Where are they coming from?
I did a calculation of 2 million Nigerians getting 10,000 naira. That comes to about 20 billion naira. 20 billion naira has been distributed among the traders. People who would never have gotten a bank loan. People who, even if they had an opportunity to enter a bank, they will not have the necessary collateral. But government is saying, we're trusting you, want to develop your business. Go back a few years. A few weeks ago, there was a publication by AMCON in the newspapers showing how much he had spent to stabilize some banks. The amount AMCON spent was 6 trillion naira. AMCON spent 6 trillion naira. And the total list of the people indebted to AMCON was only about 300 people. The bulk of the money was amongst 300 people, and 6 trillion naira was spent to salvage 300 people. Whereas 2 million traders have now gotten 20 billion naira. Is that not a better use of money? Is that not a better way to reach out to the poor of the country and help people to grow businesses?
Do you give somebody 10,000 one-off and